Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is scheduled for three-minute rounds in the Front Street Fights flyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. She stands in at 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighs an even 122 pounds, and represents Team Davis from Idaho Falls, Idaho. Ladies and gentlemen, Cortney Youngblood. Her opponent across the cage, fighting out of the blue corner. Standing at even 5 feet tall, weighing in at 123 pounds, representing SBG Idaho from Boise, Idaho. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephanie Hernandez. Our referee in charge of this fight will be Mr. Tom Supnet.
Quite a great crowd reaction for both fighters here. Pretty split 50-50. Obviously, Stephanie in her home backyard, and again, Cortney Youngblood from the great town of Idaho Falls. Big fan of that place.
Stephanie Hernandez has a big advantage having Vita Ortega in her corner because
Yeah.
Vita is a great female fighter. There's a double leg. We'll see if she uses the clinch.
Cortney going in for a strong punch right off the bat. Stephanie trying to counter with a double leg takedown, but kudos to Cortney, and they're able to kind of fend off that pressure right there.
Yeah, Cortney needs to widen her base a little bit. Now they're getting a little bit of a flurry, and Cortney's standing straight up, so that's kind of a disadvantage. Let's see if she has the grappling advantage. Nice tie plum. So what she's doing is she's controlling the head. That's called a tie plum, and she's landing some knees, which is really good.
A couple of hard right shots there from Stephanie. And
Cortney
Cortney answers back.
Right. A lot of times when your back is on the cage, it's
it looks like the eyes cut. The eyes cut or shut on Stephanie. She got a couple hard right shots in there.
Stephanie needs a circle out. There you go.
Cortney tenacious on this, just will not let Stephanie get any breathing room at this point.
Speaking of breathing, Stephanie has her mouth open, and like I said before, that's a recipe for disaster. When you start leaving your mouth open, it's easier to get knocked out.
And a good point for her right now. Stephanie get a little bit of breathing room right now. Going in for double leg takedown, able to get that one, taking Cortney down to the mat. Going for back position.
Doing really good. Oh. Cortney needs to roll to her back to escape this position. It's very hard to escape the back control. Looks like we have a choke coming in.
I can't tell if it's locked in from this vantage point. Cortney's still moving, trying to get out of this one.
Stephanie's doing really good with controlling her with the hooks. It's really hard, but Cortney needs to roll to her back to escape this position, not stay in turtle position, which is on all fours.
Really hard to tell. Obviously, you would think at this point that she doesn't, well, not a lot of movement coming now. Kind of hard to tell if Cortney, if Stephanie's got the chokehold locked in on Cortney.
Cortney is tough. Doesn't look like it's in.
Wow, able to get out of that one. Major props to Cortney Youngblood to withstand about a 45-second hold there.
Cortney's doing good. She has the underhook with her left arm, but now she needs to either escape out and get up to her knees or regain a full guard.
1 minute left in this first round, scheduled 3 rounds between Cortney Youngblood and Stephanie Hernandez in the flyweight division.
Working the half guard, looking like she needs to commit to getting up to her knees, going through the fire, taking a couple shots to get back up. But it looks like Stephanie might be working an Americana right here, or a Kimura actually, which is a shoulder lock. It's opposite of the Americana.
Just about 30 seconds left in round number 1 between Cortney Youngblood and Stephanie Hernandez. Action started fast and furious in this one. Rights, lefts, knees, elbows, you name it. Chokeholds, takedowns. Kind of slowed down right here, though.
Cortney had some pretty good stand-up, but Stephanie had better takedowns. So that's kind of the
you would almost kind of expect that from Stephanie, coming from Combat Fitness, great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym. Obviously, Scott Tomets, Matt May, Jesse Brock, wrestling backgrounds in a lot of them. So that's what you kind of expect from Stephanie.
Right.
And round number 1 is complete. Probably a good breather for both of these ladies right here. What do you think of this first round?
So for this first round, I think Stephanie did really well. I give the round slightly to her. So because she had the 2 takedown attempts, she was successful. She landed some ground and pound, and she also had a near rear naked choke and took the back. So she was the dominant person in this fight, in this round.
How do you think this second round starts? Obviously, you've got 1 round digested. Started out fast and furious. Now they both kind of see each other's strengths and weaknesses. Do you think a little more cat and mouse to start this one, or is somebody going to go? You expect Cortney to come in for those punches again, Stephanie going for the takedown again?
Well, if I was Cortney's coach, right now I'd say she's standing a little too tall. She needs to bend her knees. She needs to sit on her punches a little bit more, and she needs to circle out. She keeps getting taken down because she's standing straight up, and those punches are landing because she's standing straight up. She needs more head movement, and she needs to lower her base. That's really what I would be telling her if I was her coach.
The one thing that kind of stood out to me a little bit, Cortney seemed a little more confident to start the round. Stephanie kind of shaking those cobwebs loose a little bit. Stephanie looks focused and in control now. Cortney looks a little disoriented now that Stephanie's kind of locking in her game. Playing field kind of level at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of the seasoning of boxing, you know. When something doesn't work, you have to change gears, and it looks like you saw what happened. She changed gears and she was successful. Now she's landing body kicks. The boxer is now kicking.
Goes for the front kick. Nice block by Cortney. Oh, a little Superman punch. Big fan of that, 2 rights in a row.
She needs to circle out. She can't, anytime your back is on the cage, it's worse. So
3 or 4 hard right hands to the side there. Stephanie Hernandez followed up by a couple of lefts to the face. Going back and forth with the knees at this point.
She needs to circle out. Stephanie putting her leg up is just really taking damages.
Man, some of the blows that these ladies are landing on each other, some vicious ones. And again, this round starting a lot like the first round did. Back and forth with the rights and the lefts. Stephanie backed up against the cage in a little bit.
Cortney's doing really well. See how she's staying on the range? She's using her range because she's a taller person, and she's actually peppering Stephanie with some good.
She's got a 4-inch height advantage over Stephanie, and it's got about a 2-inch reach advantage.
See what I was talking about right here, where her knees are locked?
Oh, hard left hand again, hard right hand.
Stephanie's bending her knees, which is where you generate a lot of the power from.
And again, Cortney backing Stephanie into the cage, using the cage to help her out and slow Stephanie's momentum.
Yeah, it seems like Stephanie isn't as comfortable clinching against the cage. In the open mat, she has really good takedowns. But once she's a little
going for the double leg takedown again, and she's able to get it. Throws her right leg behind Cortney's left, able to finish that takedown. About 90 seconds left in round number 2.
Yes, sir. So Cortney is working an arm-in guillotine, which is very, very hard to finish. She would have to hip out to her left and see it slipped out. So that's a big waste of energy. She has no half guard to speak of right now. She needs to close a half guard or get a full guard, get some space, get back up, or get the full guard and look for a submission.
Just over 1 minute left in round number 2. Scheduled 3 rounds between Stephanie Hernandez and Cortney Youngblood, who is making her MMA debut tonight. Stephanie having won MMA fight before. Coming in with the rights and lefts there is Stephanie, but hard right kick. And I believe in the Amis, I don't know, is that allowed? Kicks to the head when your opponent's on your back?
It's not allowed in amateur or pro. When your opponent is grounded with more than 3 points of contact, which in her case was 4, her hands and her feet, that is an illegal kick.
It didn't look like it connected. She probably thought about,
Well, she needs to finish her right now. She took a knee right to the breadbasket, which took her out. And Cortney needs to smell blood and get after her.
It looks like she does. She's getting in there, and you know, you got an opponent that comes out with you with a close to an illegal kick.
She is zeroed in on the body right now, and she's hitting the body with her left, with the knee, with the left again, with the knee, with the left.
She's got to hope that Stephanie can hold on for the next 5
seconds.
She's out. Oh!
Saved by the bell.
Exactly. Wow. You talk about an ending right there. Stephanie Hernandez, and again, it looked like it was close to an illegal kick. Didn't look like she connected, which could have been grounds for disqualification. Will probably play into the minds of the judges a little bit, but definitely it looked like that kind of ticked Cortney off a little bit. You saw her when she got back up. You were on it that last 30 seconds. She was all over Stephanie. This
is one thing that's very hard to come back from. It's very hard to come back and get your wind back. To recover from that body shot. You know, that shock on those
right
organs.
There. You saw it
that
right
shock on
there.
those organs that's trauma that's very hard to come back from, especially in a 1 minute round intermission. I look for Cortney to smell blood. I think her coach right now is telling her, get him.
And you saw that going back to, I believe it was Front Street Fights, let me count here, 3, Jesse Brock against Bendy Casimir. That's how he beat Bendy, I believe, was either a right or a knee to the liver, and Bendy was done. Bendy was done. I believe it was that fight. Don't quote on that again. Yeah. I should probably work on my Front Street Fights history there. I was not a good history in high school or college or apparently in my professional life as well too.
Well, it looks like Cortney is going to zero in, and she's going to go right for blood. She's going to look back to that solar plexus. She's going to probably look for a clinch, a tie knee to the solar plexus, and those lefts back to the solar plexus again like she was doing.
All right, it is time to find out. We're going on to round number 3. Here we go. How is this one going to go? Oh, coming in for a high knee and almost a Superman punch again. But again, Cortney backing her right to the cage.
Coach is calling for the knee once again. But she needs to be a little bit more patient. She's waiting in. Now she's on top in half guard. Look, she's standing her back up. That's smart.
She wants her up, and she wants to be able to finish that.
That's what I was talking about with Lino Sanchez. He needs it back off, just like Cortney just did. And she needs, that's working for her. She needs to work that game plan that's working.
And if you saw again when Stephanie was going for the double leg takedown, she tried the leg sweep as well.
There's another knee, left knee to the body, and she's already starting to crumble. Look, she's going to generate all the power by pulling on the back of her neck. She doesn't want anything to do with that. And then her guard's going to drop, which leaves her face open to get knocked out. That's all she cares about right now is preserving her solar plexus. She doesn't care about if she's on one leg.
She's trying to hold on
she has
for
no
dear life
base.
at this point.
Exactly. There's
1
a trip.
minute in this third round, and it seems like if Cortney really wants it right now, she could finish this fight right now.
She's trying. I think she's trying, Matt. The thing is I think she's just being a little too intentional. There it is.
Oh, there. Nether hard left.
She's being a little too intentional. She needs to maybe soften her up with some head blows and then go back to the solar plexus. This looks like it's going to be a really good one right here.
Almost got the face
she
there.
could step back and kick to the body as well.
90 seconds left in this fight between Stephanie Hernandez and Cortney Youngblood. Stephanie getting the double leg takedown there again. That's definitely Stephanie's bread and butter right there.
That's a good thing. Right now it's not enough. You still have half the round. It's not enough to win the round, but I give the first round to Stephanie and the second round to Cortney. So whoever wins this round will win the fight.
And as you saw, Stephanie almost kind of gave up the ground position there. It looked like she could have gotten on top of her there, but maybe a mistake.
It looks like she's peppering the bread box once again.
And we are cut open, and it looks like, yep, we've
I think it's Cortney. I think Cortney has the cut.
Just about 50
nice
seconds left.
Very
and again,
nice
those knees, Cortney going back right and left knees to Stephanie's stomach there, which definitely impales the breathing there. But, you almost got to give props to Stephanie, too. She's taken probably 10 to 12 knees and is able to stand it.
And because this is amateur, she cannot knee to the head. So maybe our fans watching think, oh, I just knee him to the head like in the UFC. But this is amateur, and that's not allowed in amateur in Idaho.
30 seconds left between Stephanie Hernandez and Cortney Youngblood. Can Cortney finish off Stephanie Hernandez? Can Stephanie pull the comeback in this last 20 seconds? Or is this one going to go the distance?
This last third of the round is all Cortney. So, just because she got taken down once, she got right back up. So if she wins this round, I think she'll win this fight.
Here we go, final 10 seconds. Action slowing down just a little bit. Would appear that we are going to go to a judge's decision. Stephanie trying to get in one last takedown. That is it. We go to the judges. You got to admit, that was a great fight.
And the nose of Cortney looks broken. It looks more sideways than when she entered. So that was a barn burner of a fight.
It was great, and again, a great display of sportsmanship there at the end. Hugs all around for Cortney against Stephanie. Now, looking at the pictures right now, Cortney definitely looks the worse for wear, but you can't, as they say, judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, that just means, she just shows it a little bit more. But they landed equal punches. Obviously, Cortney landed way more body shots. There you see the takedown, the only takedown in the round. Here's the knees with the tie clench, the tie plum, and she's just doing really good pepper in the solar plexus of Stephanie. So, like I said, I score this round for Cortney, and you never know. When you leave it in the hands of the judges, anything can go. But I score 2 rounds to 1 for Cortney.
So definitely a split decision, as you see in your eyes.
Yes, sir.
That's one thing they always talk about. You never want to leave it in the hands of the judges. You never know how they're going to score. It's no secret. I'm sure people have seen it. We've seen it in the UFC. Dana White unhappy with some of the judges' decisions they've had there. And maybe sometimes you do get a little bit of a hometown bias depending. Now, it's kind of hard here. Idaho Falls, Boise, there is a difference, yes.
Yes.
But, still a lot of fans here. If you listen to the crowd reaction, I'm sure it sounded great. Again, as we're live on Cable 1, Channel 72, and also YouTube.com/Front Street Fights. 50-50 crowd.
Well, I commend Stephanie, for stepping in last minute. She was game, and there was nothing deficient in her game as far as cardio. So the 2 weeks notice, like I said in the beginning, didn't affect her at all.
Yeah, you can definitely see right there. Courtney's nose going a couple different directions.
Yeah, Cortney was the one bleeding, and like I said, she was better technically, just barely. Like I said, she was standing straight up. Her knees were locked. That's why she was getting taken down. She was getting taken down because she wasn't defending. So she needs to, kind of go back and work some defense on some wrestling, but she's pretty good.
All right, let's head into the cage for the official decision with ring announcer Britt Tauber. Britt?
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the judges' scorecards, I've been a part of all these Front Street fights here so far. That might be one of the best fights I've seen on this card since its inception. The ladies did it up right, didn't they tonight? Ladies put on a tremendous show. We'll move to the judges' scorecards. Our judge, Steve French, had a 29-27. Judge Howard Hazelbaker had a 29-28. Judge Randy Anderson had a 29-28, a unanimous decision for